I haven't done one of these videos for a while, and I think that hopefully that's going to change. When I find something to talk about. But anyway, I wanted something to talk about. By the way, it's very early in the morning, so that's why I am a little bit shriveled. That should change soon. Anyway, I wanted to make this video because I have seen some photos that our friends shared in Facebook this morning with Critical Role having filled up Wembley Arena in London, UK, yes, with over 12,500 tickets sold. People interested in going to see Critical Role play, and I think that's absolutely incredible. I think overall, even though yes, they've had their issues and some things here and there, but overall, Critical Role has been, and I really believe this, a very powerful and positive force within the world of role-playing games. It's done a lot of good for the industry, for the visualization, and for the destigmatization of role-playing games and the people who play them. And I think that's an absolutely amazing thing. And to have this culmination, which I don't think is going to be the culmination. I think they've filled up Wembley Arena. They can probably go up and fill up a stadium. But I don't know. I hope so. That would be amazing to see, to be honest. But what I wanted to talk about is, and I don't know these figures, okay, but I get the feeling that there must be some sort of Venn diagram between people who actually play D&D or play role-playing games and are interested, people who don't play RPGs, but they are interested in the entertainment that Critical Role produce, and the mix. How many of those people, how many people are interested and play, and how many people are not interested but are going to start playing. What is the cross pollination going to be in there? I'm very interested because I get the feeling that this new industry, if that's the way to call it, I don't know, but I hope it is, of entertaining people through role-playing games, but entertaining people who are not necessarily interested in role-playing games. They're just interested in the entertainment. They're interested in seeing other people play because they enjoy the performances, the voices, the stories, the format itself. And I wonder where that is going to develop, because it would be an absolutely amazing thing to see that happening. It would be an absolutely incredible thing to be able to see these kind of shows, not just for CR, but for many other people who've become popular within the RPG scene, to snap out of the RPG scene and go somewhere else. Take, of course, the RPG core with them and expand it outside. Now, I don't know how much this is going to help people come into the RPG industry, which I think is an awful lot. I hope it is, because the fact is that if this, let's say, that exploded, and out of those 12,500, let's say, for the sake of saying, okay, again, I do not have the figures. And at this point, I don't particularly care about the figures either. But let's say that 10,000 people are not interested or have never played RPGs, but they do like what CR does. And let's imagine out of those 10,000 people, 2,000 decide to play RPGs. Now, a 20% rate conversion would be absolutely amazing. And the reason why I would like that to happen is because getting into role-playing games and making a living out of it is not easy. Being a publisher is very hard work, which is why most publishers have a sidekick job, where that pays the bills, and then they publish role-playing games on the side. There are few who can actually make a living out of it, and I wish there were way more of them. It would be amazing to see a plethora of authors who can comfortably live out of writing role-playing games or playing role-playing games. That would be wonderful. So I wonder is what impact that is going to have on that. What impact is going to have on sales. I also wonder what impact it's going to have on sales outside 5e or D&D, because I don't know how that spreads out. But what I wonder above all, and that made me think about an interview that I had at Spiel this year with a company from Vietnam. Yes, this is a board game, but it is related. Bear with me a second. This company has a game called Zodiac Rush, which is a very cute little thing. They have sold over 200,000 copies in Vietnam alone. In any country, selling 200,000 copies is an absolutely incredible feat. And I don't know any publisher out there who wouldn't do anything to sell 1,200,000 copies of their games. It is a very good number. Now, the secret of their success is that that game is based on a very popular comic book from Vietnam. And to reinforce it, they also created a YouTube series that people watch avidly. They really love it. So this cross-media to help promote games is not new, but it is uncommon. A few years ago, I predicted that companies were going to start using RPGs as a marketing tool because it is a lot cheaper than producing a marketing campaign. So we saw Carnival Row. The Marvel RPG is something similar. They're trying to capitalize on the movies and the series to make an RPG. And I said, how cool it would be if we could see a Marvel adventure based on, I don't know, Loki, for instance, and you play that adventure and those events then are going to be reflected in the series, or something that happens in between seasons of a series to help with the continuity. We are still a little bit away from that, but yeah, I am hopeful that at some point is going to happen. That would be amazing to see. So just the same as that is going to happen, I think this new trend of cross media, where these kind of performances, like the one from CR, can be used as a tool to bring people into the world of role-playing games. So it would be interesting to see how the sales of D&D, in this case, because it's Critical Role, assuming that's what they've been playing, I don't know, if those sales go up. Of course, this sort of thing also brings a few questions, and it doesn't come without its issues. For example, I wouldn't be able to see a Critical Role on world tour and being able to go anywhere because of language issues. Not everybody can speak English. I think it would be completely unreasonable and, to be perfectly honest, possibly impossible to expect and demand these people to learn Spanish. I'm saying Spanish because this is where I live, but I could say French or German or Croatian or Russian or Lithuanian or whatever it is. And I don't think that it could be expected of them to learn all those languages. I don't think it would be or should be expected for them to script absolutely everything and learn it, because then they would lose a little bit of the spirit of what it is like to watch a role-playing game. So I don't see a kind of world tour happening. I do see, though, people coming out in different countries. I know in Spain we don't have somebody who would be well-known enough or famous enough to be able to pull off this kind of production. We have a couple of groups, but they are not really taking off as much as everybody else would like them to take off. So I don't know what the answer to that is. I can see, CR doing a US tour, Canada tour, UK tour, Australia, New Zealand. I can see that. I cannot see them doing a European tour to this extent. I hope they can. That would be amazing. That would be absolutely unbelievable. If they could go to Paris and fill up a stadium, boom, I would love to see that. Or Germany, go to Berlin or Munich. I'd love to see them in Rome do that sort of thing. But I would be surprised if they could get to that point, because that language barrier is very, very important. It also, of course, raises other issues. What will happen if I wanted to do a vampire or a Call of Cthulhu game? Would I have to license the system from White Wolf or Chaosium? Will I be able to use the IP? How would that work? Would I have to do my own system? Would I be able to take one of the stories, Horror in the Orient Express, and put it on tour, on stage? Would I need to pay them? I don't know any of these things. So these are questions that will need to be asked, because right now when you play an adventure online and you stream it on Twitch, I don't think there is any obligation from anybody to pay anything to anyone else, because there are questions about when, you know, this is my work based on your story, but this is my work. So where would we stand with that? Legally, I have no idea. And in what country what it would be like. So this thing does raise a few interesting questions that personally I find very, very exciting indeed, because I would love to see this happen time and time and time again. And I truly hope that they do. But I don't know. What do you think? I mean, do you see this as an industry coming out and becoming pervasive? People are able to actually make a living out of it? Because I really hope so.